So
Struggle.
let's get it started. All right, we live. Welcome to another episode of the Press Box. It's your boy, the hostess with the mostest right now until we find a new host of the Press Box, Jay Reezy, aka J Rob. Shout out to our gold members, Terry, IDWC, Avion Plummer, Cobra, Son of Raditz. Shout out to our Hall of Fame and Legend members. And if you want to be a part of the Players Choice community, you already know the information you need is below. I will always make sure I got the information to be a part of the Players Choice community. Obviously, I'm up here with my boy Shonen, aka Riddell, and then my guy Random here is always ready to kick it off. Fellas. Obviously, there's a few things that have happened over the weekend. Going into this week, I think football more than ever, the script has been hitting on all cylinders. Right now, they couldn't have wrote a more ridiculous script. I mean, Aaron Rodgers going out early like that. I mean, who saw that coming? The Buccaneers starting off 2-0. You know, Jordan Love and the Packers, things are looking bright. You know, CJ Stroud and the Texans pummeled the Jaguars. Mr. Sandman in the building on his way to the
Yeah.
room.
On my
Um,
way to the room.
on his way to the room. But the first thing I want to kick the show off with, as you know, Colin Kaepernick inks a letter to Joe Douglas, which was obviously broadcasted by J. Cole for the world to see. In the letter, Colin Kaepernick talks pretty much about him potentially being able to help out the quarterback depth in the Jets, and just saying it's no problem to the Jets to take a chance on him because they will reap all the benefit, and he's there obviously to be a part. Obviously, if you want to read that letter, it's on the internet. Go read it. Um, I came up here and said I didn't understand why Colin Kaepernick was still chasing the NFL dream. I also just want to clear up some misinformation I may have potentially put out there. I said that he got a huge undisclosed amount of money when he settled with the NFL from from upwards of $40 million. It ended up being $10 million. So I don't want to be able to, I want to definitely correct a little bit of the misinformation I had from there. But my question to you guys is one, it's been 7 years since Colin Kaepernick has played in the NFL. And do you guys believe that Colin could actually help the Jets or be a factor in the Jets' potential playoffs picture going into the year? Bamba, you could go first.
I know I'm just gonna go and say this real quick. I know y'all boys not gonna like me, but Cap, you took the deal, gang. It's over with. It's just lay at home in peace. Your career over. You was already low key ass before they got Jimmy G, bro. You was on the verge of being ass. You couldn't throw slants and drag routes. Cap, you took the deal, gang. It's over with, bro. You wanted to play freedom fighter, and you did all of this stuff. But now the same people that you was trying to convince us to go against, you back shaking the cup with them. Like you shaking the cup, bro. You took the deal, gang. Just walk off in peace, bro. Take your 30 million. You did it, bro. Like, congrats, bro. Whatever. I don't know what message you was trying to get out. I'm not finna get into all of that because it's a sports show. But gang, you took the deal and your play before you left. Your play on the field before you left was lackluster, subpar, doo-dah. You was like one step above Ryan Tannehill, if not at the same level. You was bad, bro. So I'm sorry. Just enjoy your 30 million, gang. I'm that's the nicest I can put for that dude. I'm so sick of him. The nicest I can put it, bro. Just you took the deal, bro. Enjoy your time. We tired of you. Have a good day.
And let me just add on to that. It's actually, I know just like a couple of days ago, I interviewed J Rob for an article I was doing on this because I'm at NYU. I told my professor, I was like, this is definitely like a story to write. And like J Rob brought up a good point. Like, why you ain't, if you was really serious about being in the NFL, like there's also other leagues like the XFL or like the Canada Football League that you could be in. You see, like, and I know he can probably expand on it further that you could do if that's really like what you want to do. Now, my stance on it is like, bro, like strictly football perspective, bro. Like, and like as a black man, I love what he did. And it was courageous. But like objectively, looking at what you have done on the football field, or like lack of what you have done. If last time you've been on the field was 2016, 2017, I think it's actually an insult to NFL players that you think you can be 6 to 7 years removed from the NFL and be effective. Like I would actually look at that if I was an NFL player and be like, he is either insulting me on just like just on my work in the NFL, or he just wants to be in headlines and have J. Cole repost his letter and all that on Instagram. So I just feel like if you see a guy like Deshaun Watson, who was a top 5 quarterback like 2 years ago, he has a hiatus for every reason, a year and a half later, and he at times he's looked like a bottom 5 quarterback. Like we talking about 7 years. Deshaun Watson, he looked the same, and it's been a year and a half that he's now out of the league, bro. Like it's just no way that like strictly talking about football, that you could be effective after being out of like the game for 6-7 years, bro.
MJ, bro, that is a valid point, game. We've saw athletes after a year of being off look like Space Jam. Literally, yes, Le'Veon Bell looked like Space Jam when he went out there for the Jets, bro. Granted, it wasn't a good organization back then, but bro, Deshaun Watson, quarterback, 2 years off. Bro, we talking about it looked like he pulled a money heist.
He looked good last weekend, though.
He did. That was his best game since he came back.
He looked great last weekend. Yeah.
But 7 years, bro. Hey, MJ, like you ripped that, like, bro, 7. Yeah.
To be realistic.
Yeah, Cap. I mean, I agree with both of y'all. Honestly, Cap, it's a wrap, man. You're done. You ain't gonna get another job. And trying to pull the celebrity card with that letter with all the people who co-signed it. I mean, we know what you're trying to do. So we know the Jets are in a bad position. You try to put some leverage with the celebrities, like, bruh, y'all have Zach Wilson. At least get me on the practice squad. He tried it because we knew if he got on the practice squad, his mind is, okay, once I get in the practice squad, I'm eventually gonna become the starter. And that's gonna be the conversation. When will Kaepernick become the starter? So that's just not worth it. So there's a lot of other quarterbacks that's been in the league that probably, even if you don't make a big time trade, even someone like Gardner Minshew would be a better fit right now. So yeah, it's a wrap.
Well, J-Rob, we talked about this after the stream ended open field yesterday. Goated brought it up. And the one thing I told him is that obviously, besides the fact that he hasn't been on the field in damn near a decade, we said no team, you know how football culture works. You don't want a loud backup quarterback at all, especially in a volatile quarterback situation. Okay, let's just say it's all good. And he comes on the thing just to do what he said in the letter, that he's on the practice squad. The minute he gets on there, you know how New York media works, J-Rob. Everybody asking, do you think he can play? Do you think he can play? They're asking Sauce Gardner that. They're asking the backup lineman that. And dear God, Trevor Siemian comes out and he plays bad. The first question he's getting at the start of the press conference, like, do you think maybe Colin Kaepernick would be a better look for this team? Football culture doesn't work that way. You can't just take a decade off and come back. You can't have a loud backup quarterback, especially when you're doing an embattled quarterback situation. It just doesn't work like that. And also, you can get if you're talking about him just simulating looks for mobile quarterbacks that they're playing the next 3 weeks, go get, Trevon Boykin used to play, who's a backup quarterback for Seahawks. He could do the same thing, and you wouldn't get any of the hassle. It's just not worth it anymore. And if he was, and if Cap was serious, he would have gone to the XFL. And the XFL, when they first came out, they offered him a spot, and he wanted millions of dollars to be there. And the XFL rightfully said no. And Vince McMahon crazy. He willing to do it. And he said no at the time when he owned it. So it's just not worth it, man. It's all right. You took the money, like Bama said, you took the money. Just go. It's all right, man. Just go do something else. You can do other things. You already got whatever it is said.
Trent, what you got to say on the situation?
It was about Cap, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I feel bad for him that he got what's his name, black boy years ago. Mind you, it was 7 years ago. My brother give it up. I feel like it's just at this time, bro. It's just like, bro, just give it up. Like Randall said, I didn't even know that they offered him the spot and he wanted millions.
He wanted millions of dollars because obviously he would be the selling point for the XFL at the time. Come and see if Colin Kaepernick can actually play.
Since you said that, bro, I felt like if he would have played at an XFL and still showed that he was actually somewhat decent, he would be back in the league. But now you waited 7 years. You trying to get like, come on, bro, give it up. Just give it up.
What was the point of the letter? It doesn't make any sense. What was the point of it other than to let you be back in the media spotlight again?
He wanting for a spotlight. He trying to get back in the league, and then he put mad coach to get the sign off like that was gonna do something.
You can go other places.
Hey, I was surprised.
You can go other places and
Mark
play.
Davis was signed, or he was like a reference. I was like, Mark Davis.
Josh McDaniels not letting that. Josh McDaniels not letting that come over there.
So from the way I look at it, honestly, like, you know, this is a topic I was kind of didn't really want to talk about at first on here, but obviously now it's become such a thing after this letter, like, because I feel like you gotta always kind of be. It's like one of them touchy things because we black men, so we can't look like we cooning out or whatever. We say something the wrong way, but I'm gonna just keep it a buck as well. Like, in some ways, I feel like Colin Kaepernick needs to get a grip because at the end of the day, and I don't know about y'all, but I got enough pride to know that if I sue an organization and we settle on $10 million, I'm not going back and being employed under that organization.
Facts.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, if I left, why am I going back to the place that tried to literally blackball me? That's one. Two, y'all, you understand, like, you know, the $10 million Colin Kaepernick got, that don't happen for most blackballed athletes to get a settlement for being blackballed, bro, and being able like to prove that. Like, to beat the NFL and get the money he got, bro, you won a really huge case and they settled for a lot of money. $10 million is a lot of bread. Straight up. And so, look, do I love what Colin Kaepernick did? Of course. Like, it was important at the time. I'm not mad at him for doing the mess as a black man. I was all for that part of it. But I do think it is weird that he's fighting so hard to go back to a league that shunned him, one. Two, if I got to question your love for the game as well, because if you love football like the way you try to say you love football, why would you sit on your butt for the last 7 years looking for a team? Why haven't you played in the XFL? Why haven't you come up to Canada? Why haven't you tried to play in the USFL? You've tried
Preach, Mayor.
Like, you don't even have no tape. Like, nobody even has seen you play in 7 years. And you had all these, you're Colin Kaepernick. All these other leagues would have took you easily. You could have probably got it. And the thing is that is weird to me, like Random said, the XFL offered you a disclosed amount of money and you wanted millions to be the face of the league. Then you don't really love the game like that.
You don't
love the game like that. And realistically, it's just weird to me. It's like, how are you still? I just think it's the weirdest part for me is I gotta admit, it's just the fact that why are you still trying to go back to the league? You know, like, that's still always gonna be my thing. You literally did so much to call out the league, and I'm not. And I want it to sound like I don't want to sound like I'm defending the NFL for blackballing him, because I'm not. I'm defending him trying to go back to the place that we do all that work to get from, you know.
It undermines why he did it in the first
place. And that's my problem with it. And that's my problem with it. It don't, like, you gotta stand on it. Like, I feel like if you're gonna do, like, I just feel like you gotta stand for something, fall for anything, right? If you did all of that, why are you going back? And that's why I don't understand. Like, I feel like it's, in some ways, it's a little disingenuous, in my opinion. But here's the thing. This is no. I love what Colin Kaepernick did. I want to make sure I really, like, reiterate that. Like, I love the action. It's just, it's weird. You gotta stand on what you stand on.
And then the thing is, bro, he trying to get back in the league. And the most recent thing we seen him is throwing routes on air.
I think I saw he did it with OBJ, right?
Back in the league.
Yeah, he was working out with OBJ, right?
Yeah, he was working out with it was like Michael Woods, Tyler Lockett. He was throwing routes on air in Houston. I'm like, bro, respectfully, your name alone doesn't hold that much weight for you to just throw routes on air to get you back in the league. You got to go play. Right. Bro, the last time he played, I was in the 8th grade. I'm in college now. Like you can't just be coming out here writing letters and getting big people to sign up. You gotta go play, bro. Like I didn't. What y'all brought up a great point. Like you gotta stand on your shit, bro. It kind of does undermine.
His best revenge would have been obviously he takes the settlement, then he goes to Canada and just balls out. But he's never gonna get back in the league. But he balls out, and then the narrative will always be they did do him completely dirty. He clearly. What happened?
What?
Dame
Oh,
to the bar.
Dame to the Bucks. Dame to the Bucks.
No.
Wait, what's the trade?
No.
Oh no!
Dame, I love it, Dame. That's what you
Holidays being traded.
No
I
way
love
the
it, Dame.
Bucks pulled this
I
off,
love it,
bro.
Dame.
I can't believe
Dame and Giannis.
Dame.
Oh,
Hold on,
No.
hold on.
What did they
Hold on,
trade?
hold
What did
on.
they trade?
Time out for the next 10 minutes. For the next 10 minutes of the show.
Yes.
For the next 10 minutes of the show.
yeah, we got what though?
For the next 10 minutes of the show.
No way.
For the next 10
No
minutes
way.
of the show.
No
Dame
way.
to the Bucks.
No way. Somebody call
my
Mars.
God.
Oh
Dame to
no
the Bucks.
way.
Something gotta get up here. They gotta get up
Call
here.
Mars. Somebody call Mars.
Get up here now.
Hit up Mars in the Discord.
Nah,
Get
this
up
is
here
some
now.
petty shit. This is the petty shit to the
Okay, so
Miami Heat.
look, so
This has to be some petty
so
shit
look,
to the
no
Heat, bro.
way.
DeAndre, they said DeAndre Ayton got
Get up
traded to
here.
the Blazers. Nurkic to the Suns and Dame is to the Bucks.
What?
We gotta see what's
DeAndre
They
Ayton.
kept Drew Holiday. I gotta see. That's why
Wait,
it's all
Dame
right
and
No,
whoa,
Drew
whoa,
Holiday's
whoa,
out of
whoa,
there.
DeAndre
whoa.
Ayton
Drew Holiday's
did
out
get
of there.
traded.
No
He
picks.
did.
No picks at all. They kept Drew Holiday too.
They
No,
kept
no,
Drew.
no. Traded Drew Holiday.
Oh, Drew's gone. Okay, I was about to say.
Wait, where's Drew Holiday at?
Dang, Chris Haynes' report was right because
way.
he definitely did say that Giannis and Dame
Yo.
was talking to each other.
You know
No
what's crazy?
way.
I've been.
No, Drew
I
Holiday's on the Blazers.
Yo, I literally have. I think I've set up here
That's a
before.
good. That's a good.
I said if
metric
I was
for,
Dame, I don't know why I don't want to go to the Bucks.
Yo,
Oh my
Shiloh
god!
gotta pay
the
ticket
Phoenix
$500.
Suns just got hella role players too, bro. What? Bro,
I love it, Dame. I love it,
It
Dame.
might be a Bucks.
Go
Suns
get that
final,
ring,
I don't know
Dame.
why.
Damn. Oh,
Yo.
the Heat is salty, bro. No,
Drew Holiday's a
the Heat
Blazer?
folded, bro. The Heat
Drew
folded.
Holiday and DeAndre Ayton is a Blazer.
Yo,
That's
what?
good as
Hey,
hell.
that's a nice squad. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
Shaden Sharp
Blazers
is
got
going to
a
be able to
nice
learn a lot from
squad.
Drew Holiday.
Dame to the Bucks.
And
Not
it's still
Shaden
Chris
Sharp.
Middleton.
What's his
Damn.
name?
Wait. Question. Okay, there it is. I was like, "Where's Woj?" I've been seeing everybody else but Woj.
No, yeah, I got Woj right here.
I'm looking at Woj's right now.
So Drew Holiday, DeAndre
Dame to the
Ayton,
Bucks.
Tamani,
Big move.
2029.
Somebody
unprotected,
find Dub.
Oh my god!
and
Where's
unprotected
Dub?
Miller.
Hey, no way.
2023
Hold
to
up,
Blazers.
they gave up Drew. They gave up Drew. You said
They gave up Drew.
They
They
gave
gave
up
up
Drew.
Grayson Allen and
Oh, Casey not gonna get
those
out
are
of
the two
anyway.
big picks and a bunch of picks. They got.
I ain't gonna
Okay,
lie. This is like breaking news, so we gotta break
Oh
the
my
news.
it really is.
God, hey,
Look, right now, if you go to odds right now, look, out of that
The
Denver,
guys
me.
is there.
Bro,
SB.
Dame went to the Bucks.
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
my
Somebody
God.
need to check on ticket for real. Hey,
Bro,
for real, somebody need
Dame
to check on
and
ticket.
Giannis together.
Hey,
Bro,
Yes,
bro.
Don't
And they kept Brooke Lopez. They kept
Ain't
Brooke
no
Lopez.
way.
Too.
Hey, it's over.
Oh my
over,
god! You
bro.
understand?
It's
I ain't gonna lie.
over, bro.
They are
It's
officially the
over,
favorites in
bro.
the East. They are the favorites in the East. It's
Oh,
not
for sure the favorites.
They
in
might
the
hold
East
on.
right now.
Forget just the East. They might be the favorites in the NBA.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
Yeah,
might-
Yeah, they
Lillard
are.
and
they might be.
Giannis.
I think they're the
Oh,
favorites
no,
right
hold
now.
on, Jalen.
They're
Jalen,
officially
you
the
see
favorites
the
right now,
Suns? You see
bro.
what the
This
Suns
trade
got?
is
The
perfect
Suns
for
got a
everyone.
package too. The
I'm
Suns got a
happy.
bunch of
I'm
role
happy.
players.
Nah.
The trade is
I'm
perfect
happy
for
as
everyone.
hell. I'm happy as hell for
The
my
Trailblazers
dog Dame
get-
right now.
I gotta go do dad and boyfriend duties and get food for the house and drop my phone. Save me a spot. I gotta talk about this. Save me a spot, bro.
Oh, it's crazy because we
Oh
only got an
my
hour to
God.
show.
No.
This is crazy.
Ain't
This
no
is-
way.
This is
And
a
now
great
Giannis
trade.
is going to re-sign probably. So
What
now
is-
everything's
Dame
about
and
Giannis.
Suns got
Dame
4
and
players,
Giannis.
right? Random. They got 4 players.
I
Yes,
gotta
yes,
see the
yes,
full.
they
I
did.
gotta see the
Hold
full
Hold on,
trade.
Yeah,
I'm
bring up the
getting
full trade.
full
Bring up the
package.
full
look,
trade.
listen,
I got it.
Somebody
I got
tell me
it. I
the
got
full
it. Let me
trade.
read
Oh,
it
you
off.
got it?
Let me read it
Okay.
off. So
Wait. Do you have the
Milwaukee-
link? Do you have the link? Do you have like a link on Twitter?
I got a Woj thing, but
Don't say if you have the link.
I can send it. I can send it.
Chat.
It's a perfect
And I
trade
can
for
pull it up. I
everyone.
can pull it up. I can pull it up.
It's a perfect trade for everyone.
yeah, just go to
Jalen.
Woj's account. Go to Woj's account.
It's a perfect trade for everyone. Everybody wins.
No.
Honestly,
I want everybody
I
to know
agree.
this is still a smaller show. This is not like open field. I'm not finna have 10 or 11 guys up here. I'm just keeping it a buck. But yeah, keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah,
Okay,
from
go ahead,
what I'm
Riddell.
seeing, it's Drew Holiday, Ayton, Tamani Kamara, 2029 unprotected first, unprotected Milwaukee swap rights in 2028 and 2030 to Blazers. Phoenix lands Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson, and obviously the Bucks get Dame.
So the Bucks only get Dame. The Bucks only get Dame.
From what I'm seeing,
wow,
that's all
Phoenix getting Grayson Allen though, and Nasir Little. That's good. That's two.
Yeah,
good
Nasir Little would be real nice for them.
and you get
Nurkic is not a good bid.
Yeah, Nurkic for that.
Nurkic, I'm not. Nurkic for that team just makes their defense worse. Yeah,
Phoenix is going to play small in the playoffs. Phoenix will play small in the playoffs.
But I do like that they got Keon Johnson because they got a young player. They got a young player.
God, what a trade for real!
What a
This came out of nowhere. No
Why
one
am
thought
I
it
hearing
was
basketball talk? This is
bro.
It's a big trade.
Dub and Miami Heat fans everywhere punching the air right now.
Bro, the Heat might miss the
That's what
playoffs
I'm
at this
saying.
point.
The Heat folded,
that
bro.
Heat team is shorthanded.
It's not even their fault. It's just the Blazers just would not take their package.
Nah, I'm happy as hell.
Mars, you can't. We have
happy.
to talk about basketball talk when Dame gets traded in a
Wow.
surprise trade.
We all gotta find the clip, and everybody's just like, "What the fuck?" We all just
Wow.
crazy.
Somebody who got
talk
the-
about the NFL.
Yeah.
Hey, for real, somebody check on ticket for real. Somebody check on
looking at
ticket.
it.
Yeah,
I feel
Yo,
like
Blazers,
Miami
Blazers,
still
we might be
made
talking
the-
Hold on,
long
Blazers
term.
might have a squad though.
Yeah, long term Blazers might have the best.
Wait, but
might be
Blazers
the
didn't
winners
really
of the
get
trade.
the Blazers
You
didn't get any good young players.
No.
Yeah,
They
they
got
didn't
Drew.
get-
No, they got
Drew.
Drew.
They
got
got
I ain't gonna lie. Wait,
got
time
Yeah,
out.
but Drew's a
Ayton.
perfect mentor
Time
for
out.
They got
Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton.
Time out. Hold on. Let me say something, bro. Do you know who made this happen? Giannis made this happen, y'all.
Oh my
And that
god,
man came out and put it out there and said, if we not making moves
I'm
for
out.
winning, I will not stay in Milwaukee. I promise you the GM heard that and that put the pressure on his ass. I'm going to
That's
get
a
Dame.
fact.
You got Dame, Holiday, Giannis,
Middleton.
Holiday's gone. Holiday's gone. So
Rick
Dame,
Lopez at
Middleton.
the
Yeah,
five.
Dame, Middleton, Lopez,
Wait,
Portis.
Drew Holiday. They traded Drew Holiday.
Yeah, Drew Holiday.
Did they keep Chris Middleton?
He's with the
Did they keep
Blazers.
Chris Middleton?
Drew Holiday
Wait.
went to the Blazers.
Wait, and let's
Yeah,
get this
I
straight,
would
though.
keep Chris
Drew
Middleton.
Holiday.
Oh,
Drew
so
Holiday
then-
going to get traded to another team.
Wait. That means Drew Holiday might get bought out.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
He's
no,
gonna get traded.
the Blazers literally said they're gonna ship off Drew Holiday, so he's gonna get traded
no,
again.
I would.
That's
But
a nice
I ain't gonna lie,
piece.
that's a good piece for a
That's a
team.
good anybody.
That could be a good
piece.
piece.
I would have kept him.
Oh,
with
I
Scoot.
agree. Hey, Mavericks.
The Mavs.
Mavericks,
Thank
you
you.
better
Thank
pick up
you.
Drew
Let me
Holiday.
think
I
alike.
don't know how that
Think
would
alike,
work.
my
I don't know how
man.
that
Hey,
would
wait,
work. That would have to be
Wait,
guarded. I don't
if you
know.
shift
No
Luka
cap.
to the three, if you shift
No
Luka to
cap.
the three and put
Hey,
Drew,
Luka-
Kyrie,
Luka-
Luka can't
I'm
guard
on
threes
it.
in the NBA. Luka can't guard threes in the
I
NBA.
mean,
Cooked,
that's
man.
he's
He's
struggling.
already
He's
getting
might
cooked
struggle.
already.
I would not have Luka guarding wings. No
What
way.
can
I
Drew
think
join? I'm
they
saying,
No
what
way.
can Drew really join?
I
Not
ain't
many
gonna lie.
threes
There's a
cooking
lot
Luka.
of teams. There's a lot of teams though that Drew Holiday could be a Drew to the Heat.
Don't say
to me
Lakers.
would make sense.
Okay, great.
Drew to the Heat could
Yeah,
make
I don't
sense.
mind that. That makes a lot of sense. Drew to the
He-
Heat.
Damn.
He's a
What
great.
makes
No, I
sense.
agree.
Hey.
He might be a great team for Drew Holiday.
I bet you the Lakers with this. I bet you the Lakers wish this. They would knew this was happening.
They gonna
sooner
be. The
rather than later.
Lakers gonna be in talks.
I don't mind
getting-
be in talks.
Get D'Lo out of there for Drew. I don't mind getting
No,
D'Lo out of there.
no.
wanna keep
I would
D'Lo?
I would definitely would have had Drew Holiday over Vincent. I like D'Lo, bro. At the end of the day,
yeah.
D'Lo shot a career high from shooting this year. I think the first two playoff series he was good. I think he was bad in the Western Conference Finals. But I keep saying the best thing about this Lakers team coming back next year is I think they'll have way more continuity going in. Like, I don't think it's going to be a bunch of feel-out games to start the year like this new team. I think they'll really have
They know their
chemistry.
roles. Yeah.
Oh,
15.
okay, think about this.
How
Drew
good is the
Holiday-
Suns bench now for real?
Think
How
about
good is
this,
the
think
Suns
about
bench
this.
now, Jalen? How good
Drew
is the Suns
Holiday.
bench?
Drew Holiday to the
They got
Celtics.
so much shooting now for Giannis.
What do y'all
There's
think
so
about
much
Drew Holiday
shooting.
to the Celtics?
Drew Holiday's
Oh,
for
the
Celtics.
Celtics need that
That cheers
point guard.
everything.
Drew Holiday to the Celtics would
That
actually
cheers
be
everything for
perfect.
Celtics. That cheers
Yeah.
everything for the Celtics. It does.
I know
That'd be
Malcolm
I
Brogdon
would
is,
love
but
to
he's
see
a
Celtics
upgrade. He's a big upgrade from Malcolm Brogdon.
They not going.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Oh
The
my
Blazers not gonna set
god!
no package
Oh
from the
my
Celtics.
god!
Yeah,
Wow.
Nah, I can see Drew Holiday to the Celtics.
That
The
is-
Celtics to get back at the Bucks, they get Drew Holiday. Okay, I can see it.
I mean, it's
Who would they trade? Who would the Celtics give off though?
That's what I'm
They're
saying.
gonna
You gotta get
package a
somebody.
bunch of picks.
Well, isn't Brogdon not happy anyway?
Yeah,
Because
Brogdon
he was
wants
in
to
the
get
trade
out.
talks?
I
That's
don't want no
point.
Brogdon, bro.
Maybe
They already
the
got all them
Sixers,
guards.
maybe the
They
Sixers
got
could
all
look.
them guards.
Maybe the Sixers could pull off a trade.
Ooh, Sixers.
Look, James Harden already want to slide.
Yeah,
Y'all
bring
get Drew
Holiday.
Holiday.
Take my
I'd
Holiday and
rather have
Maxey.
Drew Holiday over
Holiday,
Harden, bro.
Holiday
I'm
and Maxey
so
in your
serious.
backcourt. That was actually
That'd be a
Holiday
nice
and
backcourt.
That's
Kyrie.
a
Drew Holiday
great point.
Sixers
That's a good backcourt.
reunion.
Also, I know Ron punching the
I
air
would
because they
rather-
just got off.
Hey, I would
Yeah, I
rather
know, I
have.
know.
I know
I'd
they
rather
No, he's
have
punching
Drew
the air
Holiday.
because they just got off
I'd
the
rather have
panel.
Drew
It is what
Holiday
it
over
is.
dysfunctional James
Hey,
Harden.
look who's
Any
breaking
day
the
of the week.
news today.
Hey, talk about it.
Yes, sir.
Talk about it.
Talk
There's
about
a
it.
whole-
For real.
Let's go.
Talking about-
We took over y'all trap, man. We took over y'all
No
trap,
cap.
man.
Yeah.
One of the biggest move of the year happened on y'all trap, and we took it over. That's what happens, man.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
Colin Kaepernick to
over.
Damian Lillard. What a start of the show.
Hey.
Wow, Damian Lillard. Hey, Dame, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really happy because I never thought going to Miami was gonna make you a champion, and I'm definitely happy as hell that you went to Milwaukee because you and Dame, I ain't gonna lie. When we get back to these duos now, Yes.
That Dave, there's not a lot of duos gonna take over
that,
David.
that might be the best one in the
Yeah.
league.
Hey,
I don't
you know
That
know.
might be the best duo in the league.
It's a trio. It's a trio. Middleton is still there. It's a trio.
So who's the
And
best
Brook
duo? in the-
Lopez
But
still
he
there.
gotta get
And
healthy.
Brook
Hold on,
Lopez.
wait. So right on the panel, they were talking about duos. We talking duos in the league, like you said. Which duo you taking over Lillard and Giannis right now?
In the East
None.
right now,
No,
they're
they're the
right
best.
now, there's
No,
not
they're
one.
the
They're the
best.
best in the
There's
East.
not one. So the
In the
East for
West-
sure.
In
You
the
took out
West,
LeBron AD.
in the
You got
West,
Jamal Murray, Jokic.
between Murray and Jokic and Bron and AD, I think those are the best two contenders
Yeah.
right now that could compete. Obviously, I'm also going to give Kawhi and Paul George the nod because when they're healthy, they're always going to be a great duo. But
Luka
oh,
Kyrie.
hey,
When
like
they're
Luka and
healthy,
Kyrie,
J-Rob.
the West got enough. The West got a
Giannis-
lot of duos, but in the East,
Giannis is
it's
smart.
clearly them two.
I can't do.
Book
I
and
can't
KD
do when
is
they're
crazy.
healthy with the
You got
Clippers. I
Beal.
just can't do it. I can't do it with them.
Here's my last suggestion for Drew Holiday.
Oh my god,
Drew Holiday to the Denver Nuggets.
I mean, that's just OP. I mean, that's just OP.
that would be great.
Lie.
They could
Denver
use
got
what they
the money.
need.
Nuggets?
But
Denver-
they
But
need
I don't.
it.
Hold on, they don't got the
I
money though.
agree. If I'm
But
the
that
They don't
don't
have
count.
the money, though.
Yeah, hold
They
on.
don't have money.
Let
They
me-
don't have the money, but
Yeah.
like, hey, at this
They gotta
point,
move up
for
like
Drew, it's about
FPJ.
winning titles.
Nobody-
It's about winning titles.
Yeah,
for
but say,
Drew.
so if they
gave
want to
up
get
on
Drew,
Bruce
Dang,
Brown. They ain't got
I
no
really-
assets.
I
It's
ain't
about
gonna
winning
lie,
titles,
bro.
man.
I ain't gonna
if they
lie,
want to
bro.
get Drew,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm really giving Giannis hella credit because Giannis going out there and saying what he said on that interview, man, that's the definition of letting your nuts hang and that shit. Coming
Hey, go
back
ahead.
to-
Hey,
Oh, wait,
Buzz,
is there a
go ahead and
difference
sign
between-
Giannis right now. Go ahead,
Is
start.
there a difference
Giannis can
between
sign that
right
extension.
now.
yeah,
Right.
but hold on. Is there a difference between openly recruiting and what he did? It's the same thing, right?
I just think he
Yeah,
openly
he was-
recruited. He
He
just
just
said
put- no,
He was
just
moving in
put
silence,
pressure-
man.
Yeah, I
He
think
just
there's
put
a
He was
pressure
moving
on
in
the
silence, man.
organization.
That's the best way to
He
do
was-
it.
Pressure on the
Okay.
organization.
Now, let me say this, Jalen, because obviously it is Giannis. I think Giannis can go to the front office and say, ask or say or speak to whoever the hell he wants to.
He
So I
already says
definitely
the
will
best player in
say,
their franchise,
right?
right?
I could definitely go up there and hear him say, like, listen, between me and you, I want Dame. I don't care if you want to go to Miami. I want Dame. That's what I would be saying if I'm Giannis. So when he went on that show, you know what that boy did? That brother went up there. He probably just said, you know, I know an extension is coming up, but if we ain't making the moves necessary to win basketball games, or no, not win basketball, win championships, well, let's go to East. But I ain't
And
gonna lie.
they gave up the
Milwaukee-
right pieces too, Jalen.
They
In the
did.
trade, they gave up
They
the
did.
right pieces and still kept Bobby Portis. You still kept Brook Lopez.
I mean, it's you had
Drew
to lose
Holiday. Drew Holiday
It's an
sucks
upgrade.
losing him.
No matter
But-
what,
It's
it's
a
an
money thing. It's a
upgrade.
money
It's
thing.
an
You have to-
upgrade.
yeah.
Oh my god!
But at the end of the
man.
day, it's still an upgrade at the position, bro. You got to upgrade at the position, bro.
For sure.
Oh,
Look,
Lord.
I thought
That
Portland
is
would get a little
weird.
more. For,
I think I
for,
actually go ahead.
for Lillard. I thought Portland would get a little more for Lillard.
I
thought
actually
they
They
think
might have.
I think this is actually going to be a
honestly feel
Damian
like-
Lillard career year in assists, bro. I think he'll average the most
Yeah.
assists. I think he'll average the most assists in his
2029.
career.
And 2029 unprotected first. They swap picks with Blazers swap picks with Milwaukee in
Dame
2028.
just shook the
my
room.
That's the thing,
God.
though.
He just took the
If
room.
Giannis and them are still there in those years, I mean, we'll see
I
how
think
good
it's
they are.
right at the end because obviously,
It
what?
could
How
be
long?
right,
How
yeah.
more? How many more years does Dame have on his contract? 4 more years. It's right after like Dame's contract is done. So assuming
And I know
Giannis
all these
resigns-
Raptor fans had all these Raptor
No,
fans
we-
had hope.
Yeah,
hope.
Giannis and
Already-
Lillard.
already. Y'all
They
were-
thought it
Oh
was gonna
my
happen. It's
God.
over. I can't believe this just happened, yo.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
it's
God.
important to point
This is
out, like
crazy.
the
Wow.
Bucks are definitely definitely now like leading Eastern contenders. But I'm gonna repeat this again. the Suns did exactly what they wanted to do. They got role players, and they're getting more and more role players to fit with that big three.
Look, Nasir Little's nice piece.
Honestly, the Suns have did the best job from what my expectation was in the offseason.
Getting Ayton out of there.
But wait, but hold on. But let's also understand they still have no defense. Keon Johnson, nothing. Nasir Little, nothing. They're still giving up 120 points a game, if not more. They could be the worst defense team in the league.
I think they can create a good.
Shout out Fluent. Oh, we should get Fluent up here. Shout out Fluent.
Oh, they saved the Suns.
That's what I'm saying.
The Suns wasn't doing nothing. The Suns wasn't doing nothing.
Wait, how? I mean, the nice bench piece.
I mean, you gave him a bench. I don't think you saved the Suns though. I think ultimately he gave. I ain't gonna lie. I understand they gave the Suns some more bench. I think the best piece they got was Grayson Allen, because they got somebody who could defend, an agitator. I think he'll be a good glue piece because he'll be like that Pat Bev under the skin player for them. Now you kind of need that in the locker room, but ultimately they defense still going to be
some kind of dog on that team. Right?
I'm gonna lie, Yusuf Nurkic, cone. What Paul? That's a cone, so it's not.
But
like
he's not as terrible as you're making it. Like, he's
all right.
on
him at 30
and
I think
if they have
he's not moving. Listen,
if
the Suns were able to get a guy like Miles Turner.
Yeah.
That's unrealistic, though. He had
Nurkic is just as bad as Aiden defensively, and honestly, I think Aiden's gonna be better offensively.
The Suns.
Like
Yusuf Nurkic
is not.
You got
what
a
I'm saying is Nurkic is not moving the
out
needle. I don't think nobody should be looking at the Nurkic move like he's moving the needle for them. I don't see that.
I'm not role players moves the needle for sure.
The Suns are exactly where they were.
Nah, Fluent, you saying it best. They definitely got bodies. They definitely got bodies out there now. That's for sure. They definitely got bodies.
That's fine.
Okay, so I still think long-term winners of this trade are the Blazers. You got your 1-2 punch now with Scoot and Ayton. You got your big man and your guard. I wish they kept Drew because I think him with Scoot,
I still think Ayton
would be great. And plus, Holiday Mentor.
Nah, but I would say Shannon Sharp and Anthony Simons. Those are the guys you want to see.
Shannon Sharp, tight end. Goddamn.
But you mentioned career years earlier. Aiden career year now. I mean, he might be the guy who takes the most shots.
This could be a career. This could be
What's
a
that
career
rookie
for
point guard's
Aiden.
name again? I keep on forgetting his name.
Scoot Henderson.
Scoot. Shaden, Anthony, Ayton, and then
they got themselves a squad.
They got Jeremy Grant too. They got Jeremy Grant.
Oh, and Jeremy Grant. So they got two Ayton and Grant who are decent vets, and then you have three young individuals who can just play free. Like they're
I don't know. The Trailblazers is still not a playoff.
Last remarks on this crazy news. I know the panel's going crazy tomorrow. So I don't want to take all their shine. I'm sorry, y'all, at the panel, but you snooze, you lose. You lose. You feel me? You snooze, you lose. It is what
they
it
said
is.
Trent don't care about this.
Hey,
none of this. I'm too busy interviewing some goats in the NFL, bro. Talk to him, Trent. I see you.
Shout out to John. So check out that video.
Oh my god! All right, so let's get back into it. All right, we're obviously talking about Colin Kaepernick, but let's move on to another topic here. We talked a bit about it before, but I don't think I've had the opportunity to talk about it with MJ. We were talking about. Oh, actually, no, we did talk about that I forgot you're on the press box. My bad. All right. Anyway, let me get back to it. So this week, the Sunday night football game is obviously the Chiefs and the Jets. This is the last conversation about the Jets. If they lose embarrassingly, and if they trot out Zach Wilson, do you think they have to blow up the team?
Nah.
Or do you consider firing the head coach?
Hell no.
Oh, hell no.
I feel like Robert Saleh's in like a terrible spot because he can't go out here in the press conference and be like, "Hey, Zach Wilson's trash." But when he is back in the QB, the guys in the locker room are gonna be like, "You know he's trash." So it's like he's in a lose-lose situation. It's just he's in like a terrible spot because the guy who they thought was gonna lead this team couldn't even finish a first drive of the season, Aaron Rodgers. So. But I don't know.
I need to apologize to J-Rob and all Jets fans everywhere for my conduct on open field yesterday. I did
Well,
not
you
watch
definitely owe
Gridiron.
me a-
I was at work, so everything I said, J-Rob said, and he said it obviously more passionately because he is a Jets
Did
fan.
you watch the tape? Did you watch it back? Did you see the rant?
I watched. Look, you know how Sean Payton said that was a tough film to watch. When that was a tough film for me to watch as well. I apologize. I was wrong.
I said all this a few days ago.
Yeah, I was hot garbage. That's how bad I was. But if let's go, okay, let's say it the right way. If the front office puts Zach Wilson out there again, go ahead, tank, blow the whole team up, preserve as much of that defense as you can. Go ahead and tank, because if they put him out again, you don't care. You don't care about the season. You do not truly care about the season if you're sending that man out again. The team has quit on him for the second season in a row. The quarterback. The minute they know he goes out there, like I said this yesterday, the defense gets a 3-and-out. You know what they do when they come to the sideline? They just stand there because they know they about to go right back on the field. They don't sit down on the bench. They don't review film. They just know we about to go right back out there. So what's the point? He's bad. He's maybe the worst quarterback in the league.
This team was a Super Bowl contender with Aaron Rodgers.
Okay,
this team was a Super Bowl, right?
So
they're a quarterback away from being Super Bowl contender. Yeah, so you don't blow up the team.
But my question is, how long?
Moves.
Okay, but my question is, how long do you go through this? Because this is my problem, and I've seen this movie before.
What?
We already.
We talked about it.
Hey, the panel said.
And it's the first thing I see. Oh my god! No, it's done.
You missed it. You missed it.
Oh no, I heard the whole thing. I just got out of class and I got a ping on my phone. Who did they trade?
They trade Matthew, but hold on, we'll get back to that.
All right, bro. Go on. My bad. Sorry, go on.
If say the Vikings lose 2 more, say they go on 5, go get Kirk immediately. Y'all team's in win now mode.
But I know that. But my question is, this is my thing. Like, Trent, I've seen this movie so many times, bro. Like, the coach is starting to, like, when a coach got to keep going up there and lying, bro. Like, we got to keep going up there and really lying about what you're saying. Like, the players is gonna look at this and be like, this is getting ridiculous. You feel me? Like, this is absolutely getting stupid now. Like, y'all keep trying this guy out here, knowing damn well he's not our best option to win. He can't help us win. And it's frustrating. And what I'm saying is, you keep this going, you lose the locker room. Guys start asking for trades. Like, guys like Quentin Williams, that's a win now player. Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, those are win now players. You don't think the Cowboys know they need a corner right now desperately? You don't think they could say, well, they got the Jets is in shambles. I might want to go ahead and go steal me a Sauce Gardner or a Pat Surtain.
They'll pay the price.
They'll pay. There's some teams that's looking for receivers. You know what I'm saying? Like, ultimately, because of the way they're losing, nobody wants to be a part of that. Like, nobody wants to be a part of that. And so, because they don't want to be a part of it, I'm just saying this thing needs to get redeemed, because if it doesn't get redeemed sooner rather than later, you're going to lose your locker room.
You don't think one bad year you get Bryce Young and you're good? Then you're set for a decade.
No, but
one bad year you get Bryce Young in the draft, and then let's say you got they end up being real bad. They trot out Zach Wilson.
You still have to trade up to get that type of pick, Jalen.
You don't think they have a chance for number one pick?
Yeah, unless they keep
the Bears are.
Yo, Jalen, I'm gonna explain something to you, bro. The Patriots, even, and this is the perspective, we've played the last 4 games or whatever we played against the Patriots. We've given up 2 actual touchdowns. We've lost all 4 of them games because our defense is going to keep us. We're going to win a game this year 10-3. We're going to win a game this year 17-6. You understand? Like, I know our defense is too good.
Yeah, it's too good for them to be as bad as needed required to get
right.
the number one.
So, but the only thing is, like, if we wanted to get a pick like that, we would have to trade up. Now, honestly, I feel like the Jets should consider it this year. Like, yeah, I would say if I'm the Jets, I consider the end of the year trading up for, Michael Penix. Michael Penix Jr. I think Shador is going to go back to Colorado. I'm going to be completely honest. But Michael Penix Jr., you know what I'm saying? Like, Drake May, you know, like one of these guys, I'm cool with. Like, this is the first quarterback class in a while where I'm kind of good with majority of these kids. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'll take straight off Drake May. I'll take Penix. Obviously take Caleb. I'll even take Quinn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll take Quinn Ewers. I think the only one I probably would not take is Bo. out of the first round, but there's a few guys that I'm like, all right, if we get an opportunity, I'll take these guys. So we'll see. But go ahead, finish up. So I want to bring up a new topic because we only got about an hour left.
Okay, no worries. So my thing regarding this conversation is that it's very tough for me to say that it should blow it up. I mean, especially considering last year there was no expectations for the Jets, but they just started. I think they started off slow and then they just started heating up. The defense started going crazy and they just started winning games despite Zach Wilson. And that was in large in part due to Robert Saleh and the defense all buying in, of course. So I agree with what our guy here said earlier regarding that Robert Saleh is just in a very tough position. It reminds me of the Doc Rivers Ben Simmons situation, where a lot of people were not sold on Ben Simmons. A lot of people had issue with his play. It wasn't great, but Doc Rivers took the opposite approach. It was like, yeah, Ben Simmons wasn't great. And what happened? People flamed him for it. Like, bro, you're turning on Ben Simmons. So that's the exact same thing would have happened if, Robert Saleh said the opposite, because he has no choice.
But you don't have to turn on him. We've seen a play. No way that you just can try to compare this situation to Dalvin. I'm going to tell you why that is such a terrible comparison, Shonen.
Why?
One, because Ben Simmons won Rookie of the Year. Ben Simmons, his first 2 years in the NBA, was an all-star. Ben Simmons was second in Defensive Player of the Year voting. The reason why people flopped on Ben Simmons was because of a playoff performance. The reason why we flopped on Zach Wilson is because he's been bad since he started playing. He's been bad since year 1. There was no progress in year 2. And in year 3, there's been no progress. We've had full seasons. This is not a thing where Zach Wilson performs well during the season and then crashes out in the playoffs. He's been bad in regular seasons.
No, I get that.
Never showed the upside.
Hold on. And so to say that somebody who's been bad consistently, Robert Saleh has every right to say this kid hasn't been good because we've seen it for over 26 starts. You've seen Ben Simmons. At the end of the day, we've seen Ben Simmons more good than bad. The bad was bad, but you've seen him more good and bad in his career.
Dave, you gotta be honest, man.
The turn on him was different because of how bad it got, bro. There's no comparison in the situation at all.
So what I mean here in this conversation is I'm not even saying it's a one-to-one. Now I can go into a few things about Ben Simmons, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stick to the topic at hand. My thing, the reason why I put that out there is the fact that you had the option to, based off certain performances, and I agree, Zach has been playing terrible, and there are instances where Ben Simmons, mostly in the playoff, consistently has been playing terrible because of his lack of shooting. But in those situations, the coach is just put in a very tough position. And the reason why I think Robert Saleh is in a very bad situation is because he doesn't have Mike White now. He doesn't have another quarterback. It's either Zach Wilson or the highway.
But why would they go out and get another backup?
Now they have another backup. So I think you can say it now because you might be able to go to Trevor Siemian. But before, who was the other quarterback?
Tim Boyle.
So if Zach
easy Wilson, on Tim Boyle, by the way.
If Zach Wilson said what he said, and Zach Wilson got super, his confidence is shot, and I'm not. Zach Wilson should be have a stronger mentality, but I'm just saying if his confidence is shot and we have to go into the game with him still, it's like we have no chance of winning now. At the very least, we had maybe
no, Riddell. The problem is from the Zach Wilson has had almost 3 years worth of starts. He has never, maybe he's had one good game. And I think J-Rob might be thinking about the one I'm thinking about. But he's never shown.
Yeah, I agree.
He's never shown the potential. Even Dave, you got to be 100% honest. Just like I was dumb yesterday. The reason Zach Wilson is still on that roster, even though he really shouldn't have been, is because the front office wants to be on that roster.
Yeah,
he's still a first round pick.
That's not a coaching decision. That's a front
office. They definitely had chances to go get people in offseason.
Right.
There were good backup quarterbacks out there.
Agree.
But they
did get someone. They got Aaron Rodgers, then he got injured.
Yeah, but still, you could get another backup. You could get another backup just in case.
But they were hoping Zach Wilson was going to learn under Aaron Rodgers, and whether you think it's dumb or smart, it's up to you.
That's what they're hoping. That's still a front office decision. I bet you if they gave truth serum to Robert Saleh, Saleh would be like, "This dude's not good at all. Let's get somebody."
He probably would have kept Mike White.
Let's go call AJ McCarron. Let's go talk to the Commanders about Tyler Heineke or wherever the hell he's at. Let's go. Let's see. Maybe we could have gotten a Gardner Minshew before the Colts got him. They had so many other options of people who are better who are better than Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson has numbers comparable. Zach Wilson has numbers comparable to Jamarcus Russell.
I think they need Tyrod Taylor.
I
think they get Tyrod Taylor to be all right.
If you can get the Giants to give him up, if you can get the Giants to give him up.
I agree with everything you're saying right now.
Okay, but so let me ask you this, J-Rob. Okay, I understand that.
That's a front office thing, Dave. That's why they didn't get him.
For this season alone,
the reason why you go get Tyrod Taylor, Trent.
No. I'm asking real quick. So I'm genuinely asking, where do you want to go for this season since Aaron Rodgers is out?
I just want us to be competitive still because.
If you want to be competitive, then I'm thinking you still want to make the playoffs type shit.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Do I think our defense is good enough to carry a Tyrod Taylor to a wild card? Maybe. You got to understand we only lost. We're 1-0 against the Bills and we're 0-1 against the Patriots. Obviously, we're probably going 2-0 against the Dolphins, 0-2 against the Dolphins. But if we can still 1-1 against the Patriots, and we always give Josh Allen a run for his money, so we can make something shake in the division. And Tyrod Taylor has the mobility to deal with some of our deficiency on the O-line. He's a veteran, and I just think for the morale of the team, Trent, they just need to see somebody else go out there and I just think ultimately that's the thing. And I'm not saying I think Tyrod Taylor going to lead us to a Super Bowl, but you have to show the locker room that we still are trying to win. Because at the end of the day, Trent, from a football player's perspective, not a logistics perspective, we do all of that work throughout the week. You go through camp, mini camp, all of this crap. You want to win. Even on them losing teams that go 0, them teams don't be want to lose like that. You put too much work into the game. So we owe it to our roster to at least go out there and try this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, we owe it to this roster. So that's my thing on that.
Once a team quits on a quarterback, it's so hard to get them back.
You'll lose the locker room. So I want to move on to another topic because we talked about this on Trent's channel, but I also wanted to bring it over here because I thought this is important to talk about. He had a small segment, so we didn't talk about it much. But obviously, I don't think we've talked much about Defensive Rookie of the Year. They talked about Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think there's 2 names right now that are high on the list of guys who are probably the 2 favorites. If the voting was tomorrow, the 2 favorites would be Christian Gonzalez, corner for the Patriots, and that man Jalen Carter for the Eagles. Right? My question is, which player do you think will be the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and who do you think will have the better long-term impact?
All right, so let me go here. So Jalen Carter is going to be hard because Christian Gonzalez already locked up the most unguardable receiver in the league. He gave Garrett Wilson hell, and now it's reported that he already said he's following CD everywhere, outside. So if he's going through the gauntlet, really locking these receivers up, like how me and Rand have been saying, he's going to win that. This is going to be just how like Sauce Gardner, even though he wasn't guard wide receiver 1. Even though like Sauce Gardner, like one All Pro, and he was from one Defensive Rookie year.
Don't say he wasn't guarding receiver 1 though, because he did guard receiver 1s. He's in all game.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. But like, he's like I'm saying though, if he keeps this up, I think he's gonna have that in the bag. But Jalen Carter is crazy because the only thing that might be the issue with Jalen Carter is he doesn't play that many snaps compared to Christian Gonzalez plays the whole game. It is crazy. He's like top 3 in pressures, and he plays only like 50% of snaps. So that might also go to him too. I don't know. This is so it's so hard to pick right now. We'll have to see later down the season, bro.
I'm right there.
I'm gonna go Gonzalez, but damn, Jalen Carter is crazy.
Yeah, I'm right there with Jalen. I'm right there with Trent. I told you when we talked about who's going to win these things before the season, I mentioned Christian Gonzalez going to a team where Bill Belichick is going to be like, "Oh, I got some plans for you." Like just putting him everywhere. He's a stud. But God, Jalen Carter looks like a menace, a complete menace. And the fact that the Eagles just keep getting these boys, like for instance, Monday night. I can't remember where I heard this. Monday night was like a weird flex for the Eagles. Like, we're so talented, man. We're so talented all over the place. And I personally think not Jalen Carter. I think Christian Gonzalez is just going to steal it at the end. Because of where Bill Belichick's going to be putting them. Plus, who knows what kind of maybe lobbying somebody in the Patriots might be doing from behind the scenes. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Carter wins. It's a 2-person race right now, but maybe somebody pulls up.
I think with Christian Gonzalez, he's going to have more flashy plays because of being the quarterback. He might have, you're going to see people talk about him locking down the number 1 wide receiver. He's going to have some crazy interception, whatever the case is. But I think long term, like I've seen some people I respect in the NFL with their takes that they're comparing Jalen Carter to Warren Sapp, some of these like all-time great defensive tackles. So I mean, I think Jalen Carter long term, he's that guy. Because again, he's a guy that like you might not see necessarily the play what he's doing during the game, but then when you watch like the rewind and see like someone really breaking it down, like oh damn, he's really that dude. So I think Jalen Carter deserves it. I think
he's a guy who Jalen Carter's a guy who when they do that NFL top 100 list, you're gonna be like, why is this guy like always high? And the players are just like glazing him because you need to know what this man is doing in the trenches for real.
100% what he's doing in the trenches. Right?
I actually think it's the opposite. I think Jalen Carter is going to be the more flashier one. Now, I do think that obviously because he's not on the field as much, that plays a big factor. Well, when it comes to these defensive conversations for like awards, just like how the MVP tends to be a quarterback stat, the defensive player of the year tends to be a defensive lineman stat. So my thing with this is that Jalen Carter, especially considering the Eagles defense, in my opinion, seems to be the most dominant they can be is the defensive line and that pass rush. I think as long as they get their right mindset and start putting Jalen Carter on the field more, and he gets more time, he gets that more sacks, he makes the game-winning plays to win the Eagles to the game. I'm sure he's going to have some of those moments. I think that would just be louder. I think in terms of what they're both doing, yeah, that's toe and toe, but based on Jalen Carter's position plus his dominance, I think that combination will put him defensive rookie of the year.
Grant?
I kind of agree with what all y'all are saying. I mean, for me, at the beginning of the season, when an open field, when we were talking about who we had as defensive player rookie of the year, I had Will Anderson Jr., but I'm looking at Jalen Carter right now, and I'm looking at this Eagles team. And in the first 3 games, from the performances that I have seen, it's a very solid team. Now, I think it's too early for me to say this now for Jalen, but the way we've seen Jalen play, like going back and looking at the tape, this kid is a stud. Like his movement off snap, his rip when he's his defensive moves, his ability to see where how the offense is lining up and how he can get to it's just very impressive. And I think for me, I think he has a huge shot at winning this award. But I think if he continues to play at the level he's playing healthy, I think it could be a wash for him in my eyes.
For me, I'm rocking with Jalen Carter the most, but I think Gonzo might end up winning it because of just the amount of they're gonna do a lot with him in New England, and I think Trent put it in the best way. Like, if you're gonna be traveling this kid, and because of the advanced analytics of corners now, like before you couldn't really know. We weren't really talking about cornerbacks passer ratings or how many snaps they did. Like now you can really track how well defensive backs are doing because of advanced analytics. And when you look at that, I think it'll be really hard to not take a guy like Christian Gonzalez. But I will say this, Jalen Carter will be one of the 10 best defensive linemen in football by the end of the season. He's unstoppable. That's unstoppable. Somebody got to okay, cool.
Someone mowing their lawn or something, or a motorcycle.
You heard that? You heard that?
I heard that too, yeah.
I was gonna say too, would Jalen have gotten drafted significantly higher if it wasn't for the off-field stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say
yes.
He would have been top 3, but we'll put him top. But of course, the whole situation with people on like two, he made the coaching staff dying. So yeah, that you got it. That has to drop.
So my next topic is. I told Trent on his show the other week yesterday that I'm taking a plea for Justin Fields because I'm going to let everybody tell me Justin Fields sucks and I'm cool with that, but 2 things can be true. And I've decided that the Bears are a cursed organization when it comes to the quarterback position, and that I can name a multitude of quarterbacks that if they would have went to that organization would have been destroyed. And I also feel like we may owe Mitchell Trubisky an apology.
Wow. I think that's fair. I was looking back at the conversation we had the other day, and I really started thinking, when's the last time Chicago really had an elite offense? Like, it's been like 2-3 decades at this point. I can't think of a last time.
Yeah,
Lifetime. Say it again.
They haven't had an elite offense. Walter Payton.
So exactly, right? So I think Riddell made a point yesterday talking about it was an organizational thing, they got to move up thing. But I was thinking they've had multiple coaches, multiple offensive coordinators, whatever it is. What's holding them back offensively? Because they've had like coaches in the modern era that should know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy to think that a team like the Bears for now 3-4 decades have not had an elite offense. That's just weird.
It's the mentality of the owner and the mentality of people in the higher up. We talked about it yesterday. They're so old school. I use this analogy. It's like they're still doing the first like cars, the Ford. You know what I'm talking about. They're still like horse and buggy, and everybody else is driving. Everybody else is driving electric cars and hybrids. Until
even like the new coaches who aren't from that era, they're just listening to the owners. You know what I mean? Like,
look, to give you an example. So after they fired their last coach, they called Bill Polian in to help them pick a coach, and Bill Polian at this point is cooked, and he picked Matt Eberflus. So they just don't know how to do it, and maybe the only way that changes when ownership passes, and maybe you get a younger person in there who maybe will listen to somebody and try to attempt to be more modern in some way. Until that up top, you could send, like, for instance, Goated yesterday used Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is an anomaly, but we will not be talking about Patrick Mahomes as potentially the GOAT. If he went there, we'd be talking about the massive carry job he's doing for the Bears franchise instead of him being potentially the greatest of all time. It's just, that's why whatever player goes to, that's why if the Bears win number 1 pick, Caleb stay in school. It's not worth it to go to them. It's not, with the repeated amount of failed quarterbacks that have gone there. The best quarterback the Bears have ever had is Jay Cutler. That's not good.
That's bad. I was going to say Jay Cutler's not exactly an elite quarterback.
So I'm going to say something that people are not going to like. The problem with the Bears is scouting. I don't know what they be doing when they be picking their quarterbacks. I'm going to be honest, bro. Because if your best quarterback...
I don't agree with that, bro. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Because I like Fields on a personal level, but other than the athleticism, there's really nothing that really just moves me like that. And I mean, it's been like that, even with Trubisky, because like, obviously we know they picked him over Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes, but even with Trubisky, even with the situation, and they were winning games, Trubisky, again, didn't move me like that. He just wasn't great. You know, he was athletic, but he wasn't great. Jay Cutler, same thing. So my thing with the Bears is that when it comes down to it, maybe you can attribute it to the owner and his philosophy. I think that might be more than warranted. That can go in hand to hand with, their, quarterbacking philosophy. They're supposed to be a franchise that loves defense, but recently their defense has just been awful for some reason.
That's what Eberflus's like main talent is that he's supposed to be a defensive mind, but they're not good there either.
Yeah, even how they're handling their star talent hasn't been great. When they got to get rid of Khalil Mack and obviously got rid of Raekwon Smith, I'm like, what are y'all doing? Who's the linebacker right now? I remember we were talking about the 6'5" linebacker they got. So,
Tremaine Edmonds.
Yes.
So, yeah, as of right now, it's tough.
I'm gonna be so real, and I'm not even trying to slander Justin Fields, bro. I'm really not, because I was painted as a Justin Fields head last year when I said this. Now everybody's on the train. Well, some real shit, bro. Like, J-Rob might get mad at me about this shit. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of like, I feel like he should damn near get the Zach Wilson treatment. Because I'm not gonna lie, that brother is garbage. I know you copping the plea and the organization is bad. But
but the thing is, there's more resources in New York than there been in Chicago. 1,000%. From the defense, offensive line. Zach Wilson has had more tools.
I'm not being super literal. What I'm meaning is that we know how Zach Wilson is. The brother is garbage. I'm not gonna lie. Justin Fields, the brother is garbage, bro. Like, I can't. Like, I tried. I swear to God, I'm trying to give him grace. I'm trying just multiple times.
I'm not saying he hasn't played bad, Trent. I'm not even like I said, I don't think he's played bad, but bro.
Now later on, maybe Ace, maybe he just didn't if he can get better later on in his career, that happens. But as of right now, bro, I can't get with the plea, bro. It's just I don't know.
I'm copping the plea for him, bro. I really am, because at the end of the day, like, bro, if you watch the tape, like if you really sit down and watch the tape, bro, like you can't look at the tape and be like, yo, this is real football I'm watching right now. I'm sorry. Like,
but he's a part of it, though.
I didn't say he wasn't a part of it, though. That's the thing, bro. I never said he wasn't a part of it. Two things can 100% be true, bro. I'm telling you that 100%. But at the end of the day, if you can't, you got an offensive coordinator who don't know how to double team Chris Jones. You got a number 2 receiver, for real. You got a number 2 receiver out there who's 6'4", 220, built like Adonis, won't go out there and stop blocking corner.
I will say though, for you to be fair though, is Darnell Mooney hurt?
I actually don't know. I don't know.
I have no idea.
He's a good ass receiver and he's not being utilized. But Chase,
I mean, that's schematics, bro. That's the schematics, and that's where I'm saying, like, the Bears as an organization, Shonen says he believes is scouting, but I can name a bunch of quarterbacks in the league put in certain situations, and we would not be talking about them the way we talk about them today. Like I'm telling you, I don't think every quarterback could be a product of. Some quarterbacks are a product of my environment. I promise you, if Tua went to the Chicago Bears the same time that Mitchell Trubisky, I promise you, Tua would not be the player that we think he was. Mm-hmm. One of the best things about Tua is that Mike McDaniels not only contributes to what he does well, but is a creative play caller that does not put a guy like Tua in no type of box. And he does things that Tua does well. Trent, you're saying he's garbage. The man rushed for 1,200 yards last year. He can't even get a read option call for him. He can't get one QB power. He can't get one quarterback draw. He can't get one read option with a bubble alert. He can't get none of that. He's not even like that's what, like I look at Josh Allen. I don't know what Josh Allen would be if he didn't get Brian Dable and Stephon Diggs, a real weapon. Somebody to really be creative with a guy like him, help his confidence. And I feel like I keep saying, one man's trash could be another man's treasure. And I'm going to just say, if Justin Fields goes out to somebody else's, be a backup somewhere else, and I'm going to put it out there in the world, I'm just going to put it out there. If I'm Sean Payton, I'm going to put Justin Fields as my backup, and I'm going to nurture that boy into what I need him to be. If you're really this offensive guru that everybody says you are. Go ahead, Randy.
I think the thing, a lot of people are obviously with the Zach Wilson thing. The one thing you can say about Zach Wilson, besides the fact that he's just not good, is that the Jets have given him every opportunity to succeed. He's just not good enough. I can't say that with Detroit. That's the problem. Okay, let's my bad, Chicago. So I think the thing that we're trying to say, what's the difference between CJ Stroud and Justin Fields? CJ Stroud could come in.
Well, CJ was. I'll say this: CJ is a little bit more poor.
Yeah, he was more pro ready. I think the one, even when you watch CJ Stroud play,
I think he was a little bit more pro ready than.
That's what I'm saying. The one nobody said when Justin Fields was drafted. Nobody said when Justin Fields was drafted.
But the thing is, Justin Fields was a pocket passer coming out too, though, y'all.
He played a lot. He threw a lot more passes in the pocket in his career at Ohio State than because he didn't. With CJ, when he would play, when I've watched his film at Ohio State, he didn't really like. CJ would be in the pocket for a second. He would get out of it to go to the sides to try to throw. For Justin Fields, he mainly would stay in the pocket because he had a strong offensive line that was there to protect him.
Yeah. So nobody said when Justin Fields came out that Justin Fields was a.
And I know it's a different game.
The man clearly needed coaching. Okay, he clearly needed coaching, and he doesn't have that in Chicago. He just doesn't.
But I don't think any player is a finished product coming in. You're going to tell me Trevor Lawrence is a finished product right now?
No. But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. I'm speaking in the generality.
Yeah. So Trent, this is what I'm saying. If he got coaching, if he got the same opportunity that Zach Wilson did, and he's asked. The problem is, let's not even use an extreme like Kyle Shanahan, because at this point Kyle Shanahan's a QB whisperer. But if he just went somewhere, they're like, you know what, you're a good runner.
He doesn't have to leave. How about this? This would be this could be the perfect. Say they lose OD and they get a top 3 pick. Don't trade Justin Fields. Go get Marvin Harrison Jr. But that not
Right.
go get him.
But
And
bro,
maybe
you gotta move the offensive
But will he
coordinator.
be able to
he
get
can
him
do
the
that.
ball?
You gotta have
not
faith
gonna
in your
do
QB
that.
too.
yeah,
But they're not going to do that.
That's another
Trent.
thing with Dale too, because I think we're kind of like
They're
not
not
like
gonna
really
do
talk
that.
about
They're not
how
gonna do
bad
that
of
at
a
all.
passer Justin Fields is, because he's god awful passing the ball.
Yeah,
Like,
but they're not going to do that though, Trent. They're gonna cut
don't think so?
Justin Fields. They're gonna cut Justin Fields, draft another quarterback, and we're going to do the same thing over
We're
again.
gonna do the
That's
same
exactly
pattern.
what they're
They've
gonna
done
do.
this since
They've done this
since
I can
Trubisky.
see Justin Fields
Yeah.
giving them one more weapon.
They're not. They're not.
I
I
can see
agree
it.
with you. I would
Because
like to
DJ
see
Moore
it.
is not a slouch, bro.
I'm not. Nobody's
I
saying
know.
DJ
I don't
Moore's not a
think he's a
slouch. Nobody's
slouch.
saying that. But he
was
doesn't
a
have
solid receiver.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Justin
go
Fields doesn't even have time to get through his weapons, and when he does
But
have
sometimes
time,
he does
you
have
can tell
time
he's
and he
playing
goes onto
robotic.
the
He's not playing
ball.
like
Like-
himself. He's not.
Because
There's
I'm not
no
gonna lie,
sauce
Chris,
to his game.
CJ Stroud has really worse weapons.
Yeah, but CJ Stroud, like you can tell that at least they're trying to protect him. They're doing all that, and CJ Stroud just knows where to go with the ball. He just knows where to go to the ball.
I think CJ Stroud don't have worse weapons than Justin Fields. Actually, I think CJ Stroud just got the bigger name in DJ Moore. But
you mean Justin Fields? Justin Fields has a bigger
Justin
name.
Fields, yeah, he has a bigger name than DJ Moore. But when is the last time Chase Claypool actually been
I'm talking
good?
about Chase Claypool. They have what's his name
In Pittsburgh. I mean,
They don't use Darnell. They don't use. You just said they don't
Mooney.
use Darnell.
Yeah.
Mooney.
Okay, we got DJ Moore though.
How much are they utilizing him in that offense either?
Is
bro?
DJ Moore really a number one though? I don't think he's a number
What?
one wide receiver. I
Trent,
don't think
no,
DJ Moore
Trent.
is
It's not about.
They're not using them as much as they should.
What I'm saying is, Trent.
They're
What I'm
not
saying is,
using them.
the weapons is not being utilized. I can smirk and laugh, but all you gotta do is cut the
Here's my
cut the
thing,
tape
though.
on. They're not being
Run
utilized.
left. CJ
It's
Stroud has a
also-
way better O line than
This
Justin
guy's wide open.
Fields.
Damian Pierce is the better. What I'm saying, Damian
Really?
Pierce is the better running back.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
they do. CJ Stroud can at least go through progressions.
If you also turn
CJ
the play, he doesn't want to throw the ball. He don't want to let it rip. Their guys be wide open.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
I-
Like,
That's not true. That's not
That's
true.
true.
Bro,
Come on,
bro.
J-Rock. Come
It
on,
is.
bro.
I've seen it. I see what you're
Bro,
talking about.
I'm
I'm
like-
just
I understand he has
Come
the
on,
shell.
bro.
I understand he has the shell shock moments. He definitely has the shell shock moments. I'm not disagreeing with you there, Trent, but he not out there not wanting to throw the ball. I'm not going to say that.
Lord.
I've seen him make good throws.
Yeah,
I look at CJ. I don't look at CJ's situation. I think his situation is better because of a few
Way
reasons.
better in my
Robert
opinion.
Woods. You can say Robert. Hold on. You can say Robert
Way
Woods is not
better.
a great
D'Amico Ryan
name,
is a way
but that
better
is a
coach.
veteran wide receiver, bro. A veteran who's been in this league for a minute. That's a good safety blanket to have. You obviously have your young star in Tank Dell, who you and I both agree, Trent, was going to be a supernova coming into this league. So everything he's doing in the league, we already saw this coming. And I said the only thing I would say, the biggest difference between CJ and don't they got Dalton Schultz too?
Yes, they do.
yes, they do.
yeah, they do.
Dalton Schultz is better than what he got at the
Yeah,
tight
but he
end
don't be
position.
used though.
But hold on, this is my other thing though. But like
Yeah,
I
better
said,
than
the
what
best
they
thing
have.
about that, what
Not-
they
not
do with the
that.
Texans is even
It's
though I don't even think the Texans O-line is elite or none yet. But the reason why, but the thing you can do is if you're lining up in formations or having passing sets where you have the extra O lineman or in a 7-man, 8-man protection, it benefits a young quarterback. And that's what I'm just saying. I just don't see that level in Chicago, bro.
Okay, Trent. Then tell me exactly what the Bears have that is better than the Texans. Tell me exactly what they have
The
that is
whole
better.
receiving core is better. But my main issue is even on that fact, it's that when you watch the tape, and it's been like this for Justin Fields his whole NFL stint.
He's had multiple coaches already.
Oh, yeah, okay, but I'm saying, okay, so even last year and this year, he's still throwing hella Stevies. He's still like not letting the shit rip. There be times niggas be wide the fuck open. He don't want to let it rip.
And I agree.
Nobody's disagreeing with you. Nobody's disagreeing with you, Trent. But this is he clearly needed coaching that he's not getting.
For sure. So let me ask you.
He can't develop.
Trent, keep it 100. All I'm gonna say is keep it 100. You think his situation, and you think the situation he's at in the Bears, he could have made a better situation out of what he's at.
A little bit. I'm not saying a lot, just a little bit, a tiny bit, dog. A little bit.
That's crazy. You looking at the whole history of the Chicago Bears, and you're blaming the player.
I'm gonna just ask you. What is the percent? I'm generally asking. What is the percent? Like, if y'all want to say 75-25 organization Justin Fields or 80-20 Justin Fields organization, like
70-30.
I was gonna go 60-40.
So look, the reason why,
like 65-35.
I think a lot of guys.
I don't even want to say.
Go ahead.
Look, J-Rod, the reason why I want to put on the franchise than anything, Look at it with the Jets, bro. How many quarterbacks did we have to go through with the Jets, bro, and be like, bro, it was the organization. When they got Aaron Rodgers, they damn near blew up the whole organization to make sure that, to let him know that, bro, this franchise is not going to be like that of the past, bro, to get him to commit to that franchise, bro. Like, so if anything, I'll even probably say 80, 90% on the franchise, bro, because historically they've showed you at the QB position, they do not give two fucks about the quarterback. For is developing him, anything. Like, I mean, yeah, you can say the receiving core is better, but you just basically saying DJ Moore is just better than everybody on the Texans receiver. That's basically what you said, because that's all that he got to work with is DJ Moore. Horrible O-line, horrible play calling, everything is horrible besides that.
But here's my thing, though. So even with that alone, my thing is he can make the situation a little bit better if he wasn't that ass of a passer.
But I ain't gonna lie. I saw Josh Allen be a bad passer for almost 3 years, bro, and got the right coaching and became an MVP candidate, and we call him one of the top quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, but Josh Allen was never this bad though. Like he was still like.
Shut up! Did not watch him play. That's why I know y'all be capping. He was garbage his rookie year.
He was known for more.
He was known more for hurling He was known more for hurling defenders than being a good quarterback.
Stop it.
That's what he was known for.
Yeah, I'm telling you how bad
he wasn't as bad as Fields. That's the only.
He was as bad. He was garbage. Him and
for the
Sam
first
Darnold
3 years, he was garbage.
Him and Sam Darnold look like trash, bro.
Okay.
They look like trash.
Like I said, Allen just had cooler highlights. Allen just had cooler highlights.
So
so his first.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not
so
arguing that shit though, because I already said Justin Fields looked like it was. I mean, I just Josh Allen looked before he got Diggs. But the thing is though, again, because they traded like it or not.
But what I'm saying is he got the right coaching and got to tap into that potential. If he didn't get the Diggs and the Dable, we would be saying he was.
Let me ask you this. Did he make some type of improvement? Because he did. He did make an improvement his second and third year.
No, the only improvement he made, he was 6'6", Justin Fields
was better in his second year than his first year.
He didn't make no fucking improvement.
That's not bullshit. That's not bullshit, bro.
Justin Fields was better. Okay, I can say the same thing about Justin Fields. Justin Fields was better in his second year than his first year, but he still was a phenomenal. So let's be real.
I agree. That's why I wanted him even better his third year.
He wasn't, but he was still whack though. He was not great in his third year. All right. What I'm saying is,
for Josh, sorry, go ahead, J-Rob.
I'm saying Josh Allen his third year got Diggs, Dable, things that actually a real OC, a real receiver, and they had a real offense that played into his strengths. And I keep telling y'all to tell me, Trent and Shonen, tell me when y'all have seen the Bears organization so far in the years that they've had Justin Fields do anything from a play calling standpoint in his favor. That's what I'm saying. And all I'm saying is we've seen guys, and all I'm saying, the last part is for you two to not acknowledge that we've seen players in right situations change the narrative on themselves. It's not impossible. I'm not willing to write the book because I could go Jared Goff, bro. What did we see? Jared Goff was horrible to start his career. Jeff Fisher, quarterback killer. I don't even want to violate. I could say Geno Smith though.
No, but
you know what I'm saying? Like right situation.
I already agree with you. If he gets a different OC and shit like that, maybe it can happen. We're just talking about right now.
Third OC, Trent?
Yes.
Third OC already?
It happens, bro. It happens.
That's not but Trent, that's not
you develop every year you're getting a new system.
But here's the thing though.
If you have to do that, that's not easy.
Yeah, exactly. Because I have the same thing with my quarterback. Our quarterback has went through 3 head coaches and 3 OCs.
Bro,
we have to figure it out. We're trying to obviously figure it out with him. So let's do it.
But it's not. How does it look?
So Daniel Jones, let me ask you this. Even with the bad situation that we was in, we had Joe Judge.
Not nobody.
Take one out. I'm asking you.
I'm being clear about the situation. I'm talking to this.
I'm asking. Was Daniel Jones not trash though? Yes or no? In his first few years.
Yes, bro. But who did he get? Who helped him?
Okay. Was he not trash? Is Justin Fields not trash right now?
Yeah, that's the point. We're like
the problem is the Giants are
really bad right now.
Trent, what did I acknowledge about Daniel Jones though? And this is the thing, Trent. The thing is, as much as I could, everything I could have said about Daniel Jones, what did I always say to you? I said I could call Daniel Jones trash, but in some ways it's disingenuous because I've said to your face that it is hard to evaluate Daniel Jones because they have Shonen, Random, and Grant at wide receiver, and they have Jalen, me, and Bama on the offensive line. That's not getting it done, and that's not going to help you see how good he can be. Then he got somebody to come in and actually do and help him do what he can do best and help him develop his weaknesses. And all I'm saying is I have yet to see in the Bears organization somebody help Justin Fields with his weaknesses. And I'm saying he is whack right now. He is whack right now, but I'm not going to say he cannot be a better quarterback given the right tools. That's all I'm saying.
I understand that.
That's all I'm saying.
I totally agree with you on that.
I think it has not been fair for him to deal with that, bro.
Even though I know the Bears organization is that when I'm watching the All-22 and for his whole career, his passing it's too bad for me to say all this shit. Like, I can't. I think it's 50-50. That's what I think. I think it's 50-50.
I want to say my last thing as well.
That's where you disagree on the
50-50. It's not 50-50.
No way it's 50-50.
I can't look at the history of the Bears organization and say
some hope that you can. If you want to have hope with Fields, that's fine. Go ahead, have hope. But when it comes to these situations, when it comes to being in the league, in my opinion, it's like, what are you going to invest in? Are you going to invest in the hope that the Fields might get better to a point where you can start winning games with a proper OC, or are you going to invest in a young talent that?
But he's still young. He's 22, 23 years old.
But okay, let's
hold on.
I'm talking about a rookie quarterback.
Hold on. I'm gonna go after Shoney. Go ahead, Shoney. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the difference between a rookie quarterback, especially with this upcoming draft class, versus Justin Fields, this is his third year. So it's basically what you want to invest in. And I mean, it's situation by situation. But at this point, if this year is over and Justin Fields does not get better, at that point, you got to draft a quarterback, especially, in my opinion, last year.
I feel you. I actually want them to trade him. I want him to bounce. I want him out of Chicago.
Hey, man, Matthew Stafford backup.
Right. And last thing. And in my opinion, last year for Justin Fields, there was stuff that I actually really liked. Like, they were in close offensive, high-scoring games last year. So that's why this year it's blowing me how bad it is. I'm like,
thank you. And showing that therein lying case is my point. If it looks such a drastic change, there's no way I could just look at like that's all just the player being bad. Colin is not the same. And Sheldon, listen, I don't care what nobody says. There's an offensive coordinator or NFL team that saw Justin Fields rush for 1,300 yards, break the rushing record for the quarterback position, and still throw 17 touchdown passes. And with that information, there's no way you're telling me there's not an OC that sees this situation in Chicago and says, I can fix this and still get that level of explosiveness from this player. And I think he can still be great. So I just find I hope and pray they trade him. And the thing with Zach Wilson, if I look at Zach Wilson's situation, right, I would still say, I said it was 70-30 for the Bears. I would go 60-40 Zach Wilson. One, I would still put majority blame on the Jets for picking him at that high of a position. And then for his first year, thinking that they found this project and they have not got the best. They still select him. I will never blame the player for being selected by the team. The reason why I gave him the extra 10 and the 40% his way is because the difference is the Jets gave him weapons. They drafted him good weapons that were good early. The Breece Halls, the Michael Carters, the Garrett Wilsons. You know, Braxton Berrios was a decent slot receiver. You had things that worked. The Conklin. You know, you had players that can actually help you win football games. Then the year after this year, even though you had to play early, showing he had a mini camp, all the voluntary stuff, and a training camp to study and learn as much knowledge from Aaron Rodgers. You got to be with him every single day. So the resources you had versus the ones that Justin had, that's why I go 60-40 in that. And then on top of that, maybe in some cases I may want to go a little higher because you also had the Jets defense to hang your hat on as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was so much more for, like, even in terms of the leeway, in terms of being able to make a mistake in game. Like, Zach can make a mistake in game knowing that he's going to get the ball back and the score won't have changed. Justin knows he make a mistake, they might go down another touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Just because of it. So
All right. So the thing is, Riddell, then I'll just say this real quick. Then
go ahead, because we gotta go through it. We only got about maybe 2
So
years left.
what? Okay, let's just say they do exactly what you say, Riddell. What confidence do you have in the Bears developing that quarterback? And then we're not back here 2 years later saying the exact same thing. Historically, the Bears have not supported their quarterbacks. Even back with 85 Bears, Jim McMahon, they got wasn't he like partially blind? And they drafted him. Like he stuck a fork in his eye. I remember watching him. He's partially blind. They drafted him. He was not a good enough quarterback, even though he was the quarterback of the 85 Bears. And that's their most success they've ever had is the 85 Bears. And look at that. They're just not good at this. They're just not. So obviously, if the player's not good, if Justin Fields is not good, he's not good. That's what I'm saying. I'm going 65-35 on the Bears. They're just not good at this, and they refuse to get better. You can say whatever you want about the Bills and Josh Allen being bad early. What the hell they do? They went and got Brian Daboll and gave him weapons. Even Zach Wilson with the thing, like J. Rob said, they got him weapons so that maybe we just don't have enough the right weapons around him. So they got him arguably very good weapons. You do that with your young quarterback. You don't switch offensive coordinators all the time. You don't do that. Then you can make an accurate guess. The fact is, I wish that I could give you a clear answer whether or not Justin Fields is good or not. But the problem is the Bears, the fact that we care more about the Justin Fields development than the Bears do is a problem. We care more.
Yeah.
We're not even paying him.
Grant, closing words before we slide out of here?
You said what?
No, Grant, I know he had his hand up.
No, I mean, I think Randall basically said everything I was going to say. At the end of the day, this is just a pattern with the Bears organization not putting faith in their quarterbacks that they need them to succeed. And I think my thing is, again, with Justin Fields, they need to give him a proper coaching and the proper direction to be able to make him succeed. I think my biggest issue with Justin Fields is you thrust him into this situation that was already a burning ship, and you automatically assume that he was going to make you guys get on the path of winning. And now that it's not looking like that, if you do cut him, you go back into the same pattern. We get a new quarterback for draft. We put him in for 2 years. Then we have him get cut because he's not doing the same thing. And then we get a new coach. It's the same pattern, like Random is saying. So again, you have to trust. You have to give Justin Fields the necessary direction to proceed and do better as an NFL quarterback. Otherwise, the Bears are just going to remain stagnant in a time loop with the same problem again and again because they're not putting faith in the quarterback and giving them the proper direction.
The fact that we have to rely on getting a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes to possibly break the cycle, who is an anomaly, is ridiculous. Those guys come around maybe once a generation.
I feel like you're dragging a little bit because the Bears did go 12-5 with Mitchell Trubisky, right? Imagine if they just had a better quarterback than Mitchell Trubisky.
How good were they defensively that year?
Yeah, how good were they defensively?
That's my point.
What was their schedule like, Riddell? What was their schedule like?
That's my point. They can build a team. They just didn't have a quarterback that just was good enough.
They didn't develop Mitchell Trubisky.
They didn't develop Mitchell. They had
Mitchell. Wait, Show it. Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Bro, I don't
answer this question before we slide. Did the Jets do a good job developing Mark Sanchez?
Nigga,
no. Go ahead and lie.
Don't you lie.
We went to 2 AFC championships.
We
went to back-to-back AFC championships.
And it wasn't because of him.
It wasn't because of him. Answer the question, bro. Yes or no?
Yes or no?
No. Well, you guys just are talking, and I can't even say anything.
Yes or no?
I don't know. That's my answer.
You don't know?
I don't know. It's crazy.
Yo, let me get my closing remarks off, bro. He trolling.
How well do you know if someone is just not good enough?
Mark Sanchez was ass, Riddell. That's his point, bro.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe they tried to develop him, but he just sucked. That's why.
But if you look at him from them 2 seasons, bro. It didn't look like anything changed with him. It didn't look like they helped him get any better at the position. They were just like, yeah, we're going to run the ball, just hand the rock off, and we're going to play we're gonna play 2,000 Ravens defense, and that's what we try to do.
So winning is not a key stat.
But you know what? You know who we have to always see. You know who the final boss was at the end, no matter what. Tom, Edward, Patrick, Brady. And at the end of the day, great defense and running that pill was never going to get Mark Sanchez past that final boss. And that's why I would be. With that being said, unfortunately, we got to end early. Go ahead, Trent.
You would say make sure y'all tune into the Giants video of me interviewing Saquon.
Yes,
that was a fantastic video, by the way.
Make sure y'all watch that video.
I dropped my link again for my channel. Make sure y'all tune. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the channel. I go live like in 3 hours. Gonna talk about college football. Jared gonna be there. Shit like that. It might get hectic.
It's not slide. Go Buffs. Go Buffs.